I had an old drone with a camera, and I've wanted to make a camera project for a while now. This camera was different than a lot of drone cameras. Instead of streaming the data back, which would require me to figure out a lot of wires and data transfer procedures, the camera stored the images and videos on a micro SD card. With a multimeter, I measured the 3 wires. There were only 3 wires to control. There was one ground wire, one power wire that was held at 5 volts, and the other wire, which was yellow, was a signal wire that had a default charge of 3.3 volts. Whenever the video or picture buttons were pressed, the voltage dropped to 0. I needed an oscilloscope to figure out more than that, but thankfully my school's robotics club has a vintage oscilloscope I could use, and with some help from a friend I got the readings I needed. For a picture, the signal dipped from 3.3 volts to 0 volts for 400 milliseconds. But for a video, the signal dipped from 3.3 volts to 0 volts for 800 milliseconds to begin a video, and the same to stop it. So that gave me the information I needed for the camera. The motion sensor module uses IR sensors to detect motion, and there are controls on the module for sensitivity and duration of the signal. I set up the Arduino to start a video when motion was detected and only stop the video when motion completely ended. So I wired everything up, including an indicator LED. Then I used cardboard, hot glue, and electrical tape to make a case for the whole assembly and a guard for the motion sensor. I added the guard because I didn't want to detect motion unless it was from an angle that the camera could capture. I spray painted the box and assembled everything, and here's the finished product. Here's some footage I captured of a suspicious character I caught while I had the camera set up in my room. Doubtless this guy was going for my 3D printed gummy bear, and who can blame him, but my camera clearly scared him off. I doubt I'll have a lot of uses for it around the house anymore, but it was definitely a fun project. This is my first time hacking a module of this complexity to use for my own purposes, and I also learned how to use an oscilloscope, which was a big bonus.